All right, there's a new scandal sweeping the nation. It's called McDaniel Gate. NBC News is facing significant backlash from within over its hiring of former Republican National Committee Chair Ronna McDaniel to provide commentary in the 2024 elections. Former NBC Meet the Press moderator Chuck Todd excoriated the network Sunday over the hiring, while on Monday morning, the host of MSNBC's popular Morning Joe program said they would not have McDaniel on as a paid contributor. To be clear, we believe NBC News should seek out conservative Republican voices to provide balance in their election coverage, Morning Joe host Mika Brzezinski said in an on-air criticism of the hire. But it should be conservative Republicans, not a person who used her position of power to be an anti-democracy election denier, and we hope NBC will reconsider its decision. A source at NBC told The Hill on Monday that there was unanimous support among leadership at the network for McDaniel's hiring. The source said network bosses reiterated to staffers after the McDaniels deal was announced that individual shows at the network have editorial control to book whichever contributors or guests they feel are most relevant to the news of the day. McDaniel's deal with NBC is worth more than 6 figures annually, the news website Puck reported. NBC News declined to comment on the backlash to McDaniel's hiring it sparked. It is not unusual for former White House officials or leaders of the national Democratic or Republican parties to land jobs in the media commenting on national politics. But the McDaniel hiring appeared to cross the line for some journalists at NBC who criticized former RNC chair for backing former President Trump's false claims he won the election and for downplaying the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Todd, in a Sunday appearance on Meet the Press, argued that McDaniel had credibility issues, accusing her of gaslighting journalists for the last 6 years. So when NBC made the decision to give her NBC News' credibility, you got to ask yourself, what does she bring NBC News, he asked. NBC's sister cable outlet, MSNBC, leans to the left with its coverage in prime time. McDaniel's hiring may have been meant to bring in a conservative point of view to NBC, but John Marshall, associate professor at Northwestern University's Medill School for Media, said such an effort might fall flat with MSNBC's own left-leaning audience. MSNBC has been generally doing better than CNN because MSNBC caters more to its progressive audience, Marshall said. If they're going to try and hire a lot of Republicans to reach out to a broader audience, journalistically it's a good thing, although strategically as a business, I don't think it's going to work. One more thing here. In a memo announcing the hire, Carrie Budoff-Brown of NBC News said there couldn't be a more important time to have McDaniel join the larger NBC team. She will support our leading coverage by providing an insider's perspective on national politics and on the future of the Republican Party, Brown said. So, to go through some of these criticisms that we've seen of the McDaniel hire, this very sinister thing that NBC decided to do. Brzezinski said, we believe they should have conservative voices, but you shouldn't give your position of power. You shouldn't have an anti-democracy election denier. Well, the truth is, even if you were to call McDaniel that, and I don't dispute that she is. I mean, she went along with what they call the big lie for the whole time that Trump was doing it, and even now, still, it doesn't really explicitly state that, yeah, we didn't win 2020. You have to remember that the U.S. is a place where those in positions of power can pretty much get away with anything. You would not see me have a job where after I get it, there is an objective metric of under my leadership things tanking, which was the case with McDaniel when she was the RNC chair. She didn't preside over a single positive election cycle, and then somehow be offered a 6-figure position after having failed in my previous position. So you can call her an election denier, but the U.S. has legitimized far worse people by giving them positions of power outside of TV. And as recently as in electoral politics, the person literally who just won the Republican nomination this month has how many criminal charges? 91? 4 trials in 4 different states. To go over here as well. It's just it's funny to watch people sit here and do the whole pearl clutching stuff, because I don't think McDaniel will be any worse than any of the other conservatives that they have on these supposedly left-leaning networks, and we already discussed that none of the cable news stations are really pro, progressive as much as they are pro-establishment. So you'll see them, talk to McDaniel over someone like just a regular commentator. Like I'll put it this way: for as much as they're pissing themselves over her getting hired, they would be more likely to have her on every single day for an entire year than have any progressive commentator that you see on this website come on there once. And that has more to do with the fact that they're just pro-establishment. They're just in favor of having these people who they think have held some position of power and legitimizing them even further. So let it be known that when you work a job and you don't preside over a single positive cycle for your team, your group, that you're in leadership of, if you're McDaniel, you can get a 6-figure deal with a network where, yeah, the people that also work there are like, crying about it, but they can't stop it. They're not going to change anything. I don't think she's going to stay with them for that long. That's what I figure. I think what'll probably happen is she'll be with them for maybe a year or two, and you'll see a little bit more of some people talking trash. Then she'll try to like run for something or go and get a position with Fox News, which I don't think she'll be successful in that endeavor either. But it doesn't matter. These people they'll always have something they can rely on, no matter how much they fail at whatever previous job they had.